Pastor Tommy here. We're in my kitchen tonight shooting a video. We're just like you. We're quarantined now because of the COVID-19 virus. And we were thinking that maybe some of you guys were going through some of the stuff we're going through, which is trying to figure out what we're going to do for meals, lunch and supper and that kind of thing. So I thought maybe it might be fun if we could get together and make some videos. Maybe you'd enjoy seeing some videos. I'm not the best chef. I'm not a great cook, but I'm a decent cook. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this together. I'm going to put together a few little recipes, a few little things for you, maybe one every day or two, and we'll talk through them. Nothing's very difficult, just something that's pretty easy. But tonight, you got to have a couple of things. First of all, if you're gonna cook in the kitchen, you got to have a kitchen, and you need to have maybe some kind of rag. For me, man, I got to have something to make sure everything's cleaned off and I'm not sweating in my food, that kind of thing. So I do that, and then also a recipe, and then an idea. So tonight, we decided that we would cook maybe some broccoli and cheese soup for you. So tonight's recipe is going to be broccoli and cheese soup. So I found this up in the pantry, and I said, hey kids, how about if we have some Campbell's broccoli and cheese soup? What do you guys think about that?
Ew.
Ew, man, I mean, no offense, but that ain't eating, man. I mean, that is just not a meal. So if you want to have broccoli and cheese soup, you got to cook it Susan Talley style. So I got this recipe from her, and she, man, I'm telling you, this is a really, really good recipe. So this is what we're gonna have. I got some fresh ingredients. Here we go. We're gonna start out with a couple of heads of broccoli, a couple of onions, a couple of bags of shredded cheddar cheese, some shredded carrots, some chicken broth. We're gonna have to have some milk. We need some butter, and we're gonna use cornstarch. You can use all-purpose flour, but we're gonna use cornstarch because we have a couple of people that are gluten-free in our household. So that's what we're gonna supplement there. So I'm not gonna cook the whole thing for you. I don't have enough space on my video camera storage to do that, but I'm gonna start cutting some things up, chopping some things up, and I'm gonna get them in the pot, and I'll catch you in a minute. Now I'm gonna put the recipe for this in the comment section of the video. So hope you guys enjoy. See you in a minute. Okay, first we're gonna get a pot in here. We're gonna put medium heat on. We're gonna put some butter in. So for this recipe, it's gonna feed about 8 people. So I'm gonna use a stick of butter. Don't tell anybody. And then we're gonna chop up a couple of onions. I'm not gonna bore you with that, but you wanna chop up a couple of onions and you wanna put them in and brown them. See you in a minute. Okay, I got the onions chopped up, got them in the melted butter. They've been cooking about 5 minutes, and so they've gotten kind of soft. Now I'm gonna whisk in half a cup of cornstarch. Remember, I'm using cornstarch because we have a couple of gluten-free folks here at our house, but you can use all-purpose flour for this as well. You're gonna mix this in, just whisk it right in, and you wanna cook it over medium heat right here for about 2 minutes after you get this whisked in. See you guys? Now I've got the cornstarch in. I'm gonna put 4 cups of chicken broth in. There's 2. I'm using this Swanson canned chicken broth, but you can use any kind of chicken broth that you have. And there's 4. Now, if you want to salt and pepper, you can do that. See you in a minute. So now we're gonna chop up some broccoli. Now, this is a point if you want to use some frozen broccoli or you want to use some broccoli that you already have, it's fine, but we're just gonna use this big head, a couple of big heads of fresh broccoli and chop that up. See you in a minute. Okay, I've chopped up the broccoli now. I've added the broccoli. I'm gonna add in some carrots. I'm cheating. I'm just gonna use some grated carrots that I got from the grocery store. I'm gonna put in about 1/3 of that bag. Okay, guys, I've got the broccoli in. I've got the carrots in. Now, the recipe calls for celery, but we're not big celery people, so I'm not gonna put any celery in, but I did add a little bit more chicken broth in because you wanna bring this now to a boil. So you wanna make sure that you at least can have the vegetables and everything covered. So I added just a little bit more. I added maybe about 1/3 of a can of chicken broth in there. So I'm gonna bring these to a boil, and then after they boil, I'm gonna turn the heat back down and let them simmer until the vegetables get tender. See you in a minute. Okay, I have let the carrots and the broccoli and the onions, the cornstarch and the chicken broth just simmer for about 25 minutes, and everything's kind of tender. You can kind of see the consistency and see what that looks like. Everything's kind of tender now. So now I'm gonna pour in 4 cups of milk, and it says whole milk. We don't have any whole milk. We have some 2% milk. You can use whatever you have. I'm gonna pour in 4 cups of milk, and I'm gonna allow it to come back up to a good simmer. And after that happens, we're gonna put our cheese in. See you guys. Our soup has been simmering now for about 10 minutes with the milk added to it. And so now it's time to add the cheese. So we're gonna add 3 packages, which is 6 cups of shredded mild cheddar cheese. And this is the last step. We're gonna let this cheese get in and melt in. It's just gonna take a couple of minutes on low heat for this cheese to melt. And then we'll pour it in a bowl, serve it up, see what it looks like. See you then. Okay guys, the moment you've all been waiting for. Me too, I'm hungry. We got some broccoli and cheese, homemade broccoli and cheese soup. Looks really good. We're gonna have this thing plated here. And you know, it'd be really good if we had some baguettes or something like that with it. Didn't have time to do that. I don't know if I have the skill to cook baguettes, so we're going with Ritz crackers. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you'll enjoy this soup. I'm gonna put a comment down below the video so you can see exactly the ingredients that go in there, and I'll list the steps in there with it too. Good to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you again. Be safe. Love you guys.